upapannam mokshat swargadwaram apavrutam sukhinah kshatriyah pardha labhante yuddham idrisham. So yadruchaya cha upapannam. These opportunities that which come by its own accord. Yadruchaya cha upapannam. That opportunities which open the door for Swargaloka, Swargadwaram apavrutam. Sukhinaha kshatriyaha pardha labhante yuddham idrisham. So Pardha, happy are those kshatriyas. Sukhinaha kshatriyaha, O Pardha. Who are those kshatriyas who should be happy? Those who get this yuddha like this, dharma yuddha like this. Labhante yuddham idrisham. This kind of yuddha that you are getting, that you have on your hands, the kind of job that you have, labhante, that you achieved, it is not ordinary. You should be very happy about it. Sukhinaha kshatriyaha. Just like a project manager trying to convince a employee, this kind of project, you cannot get it. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. People are hankering to do this kind of projects. You'll be, when you finish this, you will taste the nectar of the result of the achievement of this. You will get a promotion. You'll be identified in the company. You'll go places. Things like that. So Krishna is trying to, as I said, from 31 through 38, he is using the Vedic Karmakanda portions to convince Arjuna that he should not think that this is a loss of enjoyment. So the text 31 and 32 covers the argument of Arjuna that he will not be able to enjoy, either he wins or loses. So for that Krishna is countering. What do the Vedas say? The Vedas say that if you die on the battlefield also, in a dharma yuddha, you will go to heavenly planets. So Kshatriyas eagerly look forward to this kind of battle. What are you talking? So that's what is the summary of what Krishna wanted to say. So here the interesting thing to note is Arjuna wanted to become non-violent in discharge of his duties. This means that he wanted to be a good person in the eyes of others. So in one sense, this is also sense gratification. Even though it is as noble as becoming non-violent, not causing injury and harm to others, he wanted to be good in the eyes of others. But this is sense gratification in the sense it is against the service and wish of the Lord. It is just like a military man in the time of the war, when the opponent is shooting arrows or opponent is all on the attack mode, and suddenly this guy comes and says, "No, I will not fight. Let them fight and kill me. Kill all of us. Doesn't matter." So that is the most heinous thing to do at the time of battle. He will be punished for that. So that is not the order of the state, order of the government, order of the superior. It is a self-manifested order. So the point is, for the service of the Lord, what is the moral we should take from this instruction? For the service of the Lord, you should not bother to become a bad person in the eyes of others. So-called bad person in the eyes of others. We should be always ready to execute the order of the spiritual master. So pure devotional service means without any personal motive. So that is what is defined in 1.2.6 of Srimad Bhagavatam that we started to read from yesterday. Very important verse. Savai pumcham paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Our devotion if it has to yield correct results, if it has to make us suprasidati, our heart joyful, blissful, if it has to reinstate us in our constitutional position of eternal happiness, it has to be ahaituki and apratihata. Ahaituki means without any motive. I will engage in devotion because I am getting this in return. Because people will look at this and appreciate me. Excuse me. Sometimes we find neophyte devotees not doing a particular service. When we ask why, they say, oh, because you didn't appreciate last time I did that. Or this is not a visible service. Who will want to do this service? See, we encounter experiences like that. But there are many devotees who do service without even getting acknowledged, without even getting noticed. They are just stay in the background, doing all kinds of activities, menial tasks, no apparent recognition. That is the kind of service which causes pleasing to the heart, which is pleasing to the heart. We should take that as an inspiration. Ahaituki and apratihata. This is the taking to the next level, without any interruption, uninterrupted. No material condition should interrupt. One of the success formulas that even the materialists follow is no victim mentality. I was reading an article somebody forwarded. This is a completely material article. Some sutras for successful career or successful life. So one of the sutra that they mentioned is get rid of the victim mentality. What is that victim mentality? That, only I am always targeted. I am the victim of this. I am always the victim of this. Because of something else, I am unable to do this. If there was not this condition, then I could have done this well. Something like that. So, but a pure devotee does not show any excuse. Oh, I am a victim of this, or the condition is not favorable, or if it was like this, I could have done that. Apratihata means completely uninterrupted. Even though physically you may be challenged, but mentally you can go on. Of course, in our stage, it is very difficult to achieve this stage. That is why it is a pure devotional stage. This is the definition of pure devotion given by Vyasadeva. So, Vyasadeva gave this pure definition of pure devotee. And Narada Muni gave a definition of pure devotee. What is the definition Narada Muni gave?
Anyabhilashita sunya, dana karmadi anabhita.
That is Rupa Goswami. Sarvopadi. Yes. So Narada Muni. Yes. Yes. So Narada Muni gave Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. So first we should become cleansed. Our senses should become purified. Sarvo upadhi vinirmuktam. And tat paratvena nirmalam. When we become pure, our senses become pure. At that point, when we engage in devotional service, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruttama. That is pure devotional service. And Rupa Goswami gave another wonderful definition, which is very important to remember and recite all the time. Anyabhilashita shunyam gnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhakti ruttama. So we should not have any other abhilasha apart from the desire of the Lord. Anya abhilashita shunyam. We should get rid of all that. including the desires to become knowledgeable. Gnana. Oh, why you want to become knowledgeable? So that I can show off to people. Or I can satisfy my intellect. So I can feel happy. I can explain things. But that sort of mentality is also can be dangerous. It can be against devotional principles. When there is service opportunity, no, I'll sit and read. Of course, if there is an ordained service, you should not sit and read. You should do the service. You should not be attached to gnana. You should be attached to service. Of course, the gnana can also be part of a service. If the spiritual master says you should read every day 1 hour, of course, you should find a slot when you don't have service. You should read. So when gnana is done as part of service, that is allowed. But when gnana is done antagonistic to service, that is not ideal. Gnana, karma, even karma, fruitive activity. I am doing this because I will get something in return. So gnana karmadi anavrutam. It has to be devoid of the tinge for acquiring knowledge or fruitive activity. Anukulyena Krishna anusilanam. The devotion should be favorable. It should be pleasing to Krishna, not unfavorable. Like what Arjuna is now trying to do, it is unfavorable. It does not please Krishna. So we should be going to any extreme to render favorable service. It doesn't matter whether I become pleased or I gain knowledge or I gain something from it, gnana or karma. So I might be a bad person, but I will do it anyway. So we all know that pastime during Prabhupada's days. So Prabhupada wanted to print this book, Krishna book, that we all distribute during book distribution and that we all read before Janmashtami. So Prabhupada was in desperate need of funds. Of course, he was a pure devotee of the Lord. Materially speaking, he will not be at any need. But he was performing, he was being part of the pastimes of the Lord. He was engaging people in the service of the Lord. So he was letting things manifest through himself as an instrument. So he needed the Lakshmi from somebody. So he sent, so they knew George Harrison, one of the most prosperous, aristocratic, rich person in those days. And somehow he got connected to one of the devotees, Shyam Sundar Prabhu. They were maintaining a nice, cordial relation, healthy relation. He was helping them find places for temple, helping them repair some of the temple, provide marble and all that. So Shyam Sundar Prabhu was maintaining a good relation. And but Prabhupada said, go ask George $10,000 for printing of Krishna book. In those days, 10,000 was a big amount to ask from a donor. And Shyam Sundar Prabhu said, how can I do that? We had been maintaining a good relation. He has a good impression of me, that this person does not exploit me. And suddenly if I go and ask, what will he be? What will he feel? Will our relation be affected? Will he treat me as a bad guy? So all these kind of things were running in his mind. So just like Arjuna's case here. Oh, I'll be bad in the eyes of others. The scripture says I should not fight the elders. So I should not do this. But Prabhupada insisted, no, you should do it. You make me a bad cop. You say that Swamiji asked you. So, but still, even to tell that, one needs to go out of their comfort zone. So we all know that what happened. So he went and finally he revealed. And after a big silence, so George agreed for it. And the rest, as they say, is history. So during book distribution also, we think this kind of things happen. Before going to book distribution, we think, oh, what if this people feel like this? What if this person, what if I knock a door of my colleague? What will he think about me? or my relative, what if they see me like this? During Harinam Sankirtan, this kind of things crop up in our mind. What if people think about me doing in the street, singing something like a sentimentalist? So in the initial stages, we'll all be hiding. But gradually all that inhibitions will go away. And what we are doing for the pleasure of the Lord. I am not my body. How does it matter if they think about me like this? So all that kind of things get evaporated. Of course, we have to give a good impression about our temple and about Krishna consciousness to the people that we are approaching, either book distribution or Harinam Sankirtan. But our prime duty is to serve the Lord, serve the pure devotee by distributing books, distributing the holy name. So we cannot go away from that fact. So we have to do it. So it doesn't matter what the other person thinks about us. Actually, it is only our mental concoction. Any sane man will appreciate any sincere activity that is done for the benefit of others. Our sincerity is the one actually which impresses them. It doesn't matter what we speak. If we are sincere, straightforward and honest, it comes out in our words. And the person who is receiving this, they will appreciate. So the other person's intent and character attracts the person. Like yesterday, one incident happened. I was very impressed. So we were driving in the rain. And I was about to pick up Priyasaki from the shop. She was coming out. And I was parked right in front of the shop. It was raining. And then one lady, she knocked my car door window. And then she was asking something, so I opened the window. She said, can you please help? It is raining heavily and I need to cross that street, across the road. I need to go to this Chase Bank. And so I cannot take Uber for such a short distance. It'll take time, and I just thought maybe you can help. And I said, okay, my wife is about to come, so we can go together. So she was waiting, and then she got in the car after Priyasaki came. And so we were chatting, and I asked where she was from. She said she was from Pakistan. And she knew that I was from India, and she had all Indian roommates, and she had all the family in Pakistan, a 6-year-old girl in Pakistan. She was going to get the family from there. So we were all chatting this, and she also spoke to my son. And so I dropped her, and she said thanks, and she went off. So I was like appreciating how bold she was, to knock a stranger's door and approach something like that. It's a strange ask. I have not seen anybody ask like that, to me at least. And I was very impressed by her intelligence, by her boldness, and she somehow got the things done. She knows how to get things done. So usually what we'll think, what this person will think about me if I ask like this. But actually, we appreciate any person who has a good character, good attributes, good skills, the other person appreciates. So likewise, when we are sincere in our activity, in our service to the Lord, if our mood is to help others, then that shows up in what we speak, and the other person actually appreciates. Of course, there may be here and there some people who apparently show some displeasure, but overall it will be a very good experience, very satisfying experience to go out of comfort zone and do something for the Lord. Actually, when we become more and more sincere, even the non-devotees, the atheistic persons, the envious persons, they appreciate and they get good sukruti. So if you remember in the Krishna book reading, so there is in the initial chapters, when Kamsa is about to kill Devaki, Vasudeva starts speaking and trying to derive various plans to escape the wrath of Kamsa. So one of the instances where he speaks, there's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam in the first 10th canto, 10.1.55, where Sukadeva Goswami appreciates this point. He says, Swasur vadhan nivavrute kamsas tadvakya saravit Vasudevo pitam pritaha prasasya pravishad griham. So Sukadeva Goswami says, Kamsa, he agreed to the logical arguments of Vasudeva. And having full faith in Vasudeva's words, he refrained from killing his sister. So Vasudeva, being pleased with Kamsa, pacified him further and entered his own house. So that's the verse. So Prabhupada writes a very important purport. So he says, although Kamsa was a sinful demon, he believed that Vasudeva would never deviate from his word. The character of a pure devotee like Vasudeva is such that even so great a demon as Kamsa firmly believed in his words and was satisfied. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunais tatra samasate surah. All good attributes are present in a devotee. So much so that even Kamsa believed in Vasudeva's words without a doubt. So when we become pure and sincere, even the atheistic people, envious people, the non-devotees, they believe in our words. They generate faith. So we become a good instrument in the Lord's hands. So it applies to all similar examples, like even fundraising. So we have so many inhibitions. Oh, what will the other person think? Will he think I am a businessman? Will he think I am just trying to exploit innocent people? Will they think of us as a parasites, sustaining on the community without doing much useful work? So one time in Rishikesh, so Prabhupada was going for recovering in Rishikesh in 77 actually, during his final year of his manifest pastimes. And so he was giving lectures and people were attending in numbers. And one European lady was there. She also happened to visit Rishikesh at that time. And she was seeing all this happening. And then one day she went to Prabhupada and she started saying, oh, it's very nice what you are preaching, but what are you doing for the suffering of the people of the world? And then, so Prabhupada, he just became very bold, straightforward. He said, what do you know about mercy? What do you understand about compassion? What you understand is simply sentiment. He said, your idea of giving some sort of relief to people's suffering is like blowing air on a boil that is full of pus. Blowing air on a boil that is full of pus. But the kind act that you can do for such a person to get rid of the boil is to cut it, is to do surgery, is to cure it altogether. So mercy means, he said, to cut through the ignorance that the people are under. And our preaching is based on this understanding that ignorance causes suffering. And that to enlighten people is the way to get freed, is the way to free them from ignorance. So Prabhupada was very direct in many instances like this. So to help people understand, so many people have wrong notions. Oh, what are you going to do? So many temples are always there. What are you going to use these funds for? Because they cannot understand. If there was another shopping complex or another grocery store, nobody would bother to ask any questions. Why only to temple? There's only one. In the whole of Bay Area, there are so many grocery stores, so many shopping malls, and hardly few temples. Oh, why do we need another temple? So these kind of questions keep coming, and we become, okay, if I go like this, maybe they will say like this, what should I do? No, just forget about it, what people will think. This is a service I am doing, doesn't matter what people think of me. So, but actually, even if you escaped from doing it, according to karma, we cannot escape fame and infamy in this world. We should get a quota of our fame and infamy. According to our destiny, according to the laws of nature, nobody is scot-free. Everybody gets their fame of insult, fame of praise, their share of praise. So if we get that share while doing the service of the Lord, if we get insulted, for example, which is good, we are anyway burning our karma, and by doing the service of the Lord, we are advancing. But if you left it, you are anyway destined to get that, but you will not make any progress. So Krishna says, Nacha tasman manushyeshu kaschin me priyakrittamaha. Bhavita nacha me tasmat anyah priyataro bhuvi. That person who is taking painstaking pain in going through this and doing my work, he is most dear to me. So you should always remember that. So our primary motive is to please Krishna, please his pure devotee, representative, Srila Prabhupada. We shouldn't look for our personal motives. And of course, Krishna is using a different argument here. He is using the Karmakanda argument. But we should also note that we should strive for satisfying the desire of the Lord than to look for our own comfort zone or trying to be good in front of others. I'll stop here. Any other questions, comments, what we discussed?